You're listening to WJHS 91.5 The Eagle.
Welcome to Media in the Making, a podcast where we look at evolution of media from 1600 all the way to present day in 2022.
In this podcast series, we ask, how have different forms of media evolved and changed culture? Media in the Making, where media and culture are always changing. Now let's take a step back in time.
To start, a popular cigarette company with the brand named Camel was one of the top competing cigarette companies in the world.
By making a new form of advertisement, Joe Camel, their mascot, was created in 1974 by a British artist, Nicholas Prince, for a French advertising campaign. He was then introduced to America in 1988.
I am Caden Bergman.
I am Reed Langley, and this is the evolution of advertisements for the wrong reasons.
Joe Camel. This smooth cartoon character would be blamed for countless amounts of underage smoking. He used
the kind of advertising known as age-directed advertisements. Camel brand used this slick-looking cartoon character that drives classic cars and always has a girl to market to people who could think that they would be like him only if they smoked Camel cigarettes.
Laws that prevented people who were under 18 from smoking were not passed at the time, and many youngsters in the 80s generation were getting addicted to the nicotine in the cigarettes, which we now know adds to the addictions. Smoking also amplifies the risk of getting cancer in the lungs by 20 times the risk for non-smokers, according to the CDC.
Additionally, smoking for longer periods of time adds to that risk. It doesn't take a PhD to realize that a cartoon character with a skateboard is not targeting 35-year-old men.
Joe Camel was influencing Americans a ton, but not in a good way. Before he was introduced to Americans, there were an estimated 3% of underage smokers. And after he was introduced, the numbers almost tripled, with 13% of underage smokers. You can see how this could be a big problem.
People started to protest in Chicago, chanting, "Dump the hump." President Clinton had even stated, "We must put tobacco ads like Joe Camel out of our children's reach forever." He was starting to become a big issue.
You even hear stories from many sources such as the Los Angeles Times that state, one day a man named Paul Fisher took his 2-year-old son to a restaurant where the boy picked up a straw and pretended to smoke it. "Daddy," the child told his father, "when I grow up, I want to be a man. I want to drive fast cars and I want to smoke cigarettes." How, he wondered, could a 2-year-old living in a house of non-smokers already be attuned to the glamour of cigarettes?
This is a crazy example of how Camel was affecting young children in a negative way. Additionally, Joe was almost as recognizable as Mickey Mouse to 6-year-olds, according to AEI in 1991.
This ended up causing multiple people attempting to sue Joe Camel, with only one of them being successful. They took this lawsuit all the way to the Supreme Court, ultimately resulting in him getting banned.
The final blow to his case was evidence of targeting minors to start smoking. Joe Camel had a strong negative effect on America. He increased the number of underage smokers, which caused, ultimately, him to get banned. Though successful in his methods, his effect on society was not. Many future companies, including children's toys, will use this advertising campaign for better reasons than smoking, which will be better for the political and health worlds.
Media in the Making is brought to you by WJHS 91.5 and the Eagle Tech Academy Mass Media classes. Media in the Making, teaching you about the evolution of media throughout history and its effects on culture.
For more from the students, this podcast series is on the 91.5 website, WJHS915.org. Thank you for joining us.